right, so whenever you're ready. Back it up here. Lighting. Is it on?
Yeah, as long as you get good audio.
Yeah. You good?
All right, here with legendary animal rights activist Shaun Monson outside of Farmer John's. Shaun is the director of Earthlings and Unity, which remarkably Earthlings is one of the most impactful films that I've ever watched in my life, and had a resounding impact on me. I've watched it over 20 times with different groups of people, trying to influence them and get them to understand and realize like the horrific injustice of the animal agriculture industry, what it's doing to the planets, exploiting animals for profit, and they're innocent sentient beings, and it's of the utmost importance that we talk about this stuff. And Shaun was just telling me it took him 7 years to make it, and I was just saying like how grateful I am that he was able to make such an amazing documentary and influence so many.
Wipe the lens real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Just wipe it. Just wipe it. Just so it's a clear shot.
That's good.
You're good? Sorry.
So what got you into the animal rights activism movement just in general? Like, what was your first experience with the animal rights?
I saw the footage.
You saw footage?
I saw footage. And maybe that's why that project for activism, because footage is what affected me, so I used footage to try to affect others.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
Yeah. Okay.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, wow. Yeah. Okay, so another question that I have is when we're bearing witness, obviously it's horrific suffering and it's injustice, and for some people it's not easy for them to deal with it. I was just wondering when you're putting together a masterpiece like Earthlings, how did you go through a day-to-day routine where you're watching this footage every day? I know it's hard, so how did you do that?
Well, it's an interesting question, because you'll see activists that could get burnout, or it's called traumatic knowledge. So, and I've certainly seen my share of it. Not only editing footage that is sent to me, but footage I shot, because I've stood at those places. So I don't speak. I'm not giving secondhand information. I speak from as a living witness of seeing it, not just something I heard or read from another third party. But I find that you filter it. You just turn it into fuel, because don't make it about you. I always say we can't refuse with our eyes what they must do with their bodies. That's right. Yeah. Going around.
That's a really good point.
And the least you can do is look and share. Even this is a sort of microcosm.
That's right.
And people would say, what's the point? I mean, I've heard activists say, what is the point? You're not going to save a single pig, but it's like it's an energy, and I know for some people that's like not concrete, so they don't like it. I don't know why. They split the atom 100 years ago, and they found it was 95% energy, 5% matter, and we're made up of atoms. So I don't know why energy is a thing, but I'll tell you this. In the same day, I have stood on the floor of a slaughterhouse, and the same day stood on a sanctuary, because we had a baby born in a slaughterhouse, and the owner let us take it to a sanctuary. So it happened the same day, and I'm telling you, without saying anything, without any speeches, without any form of chanting or any of that stuff, just standing there, it is a palpable difference.
Yeah.
Undeniable. That's energy.
Yeah, the energy.
So, this is energy. Like, they see it, someone sees it, that sees it.
Yeah.
It's a path of transmission.
That's right, yeah.
It's a path of transmission, so you don't always have to. I always say, look, raise your consciousness. I know it sounds raise your consciousness, because there's a collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And the higher yours is, the higher the collective is, because you're part of the collective.
Yeah.
So it's not always about doing, which is good. I'm not against good works. But if we're contentious, cantankerous, hateful, bitter, then it's only the act of your doing, which is only a flyer, or only a chance, only a sign, and then you better hope and pray that carries your message through. But dude, look at someone like Gandhi or Buddha or Jesus. You don't have to be religious. These people are long dead. This is an important point.
That's right.
Long dead, and there's still power.
Yeah.
How is that possible? He's not giving Martin Luther King isn't giving an I Have a Dream speech right now.
That's right.
It's old.
Yeah.
Why is it still powerful? There's force, and then there's power.
Yeah.
So if we could be more powerful, it'll just be working while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's stuff like this. But we're so doing oriented that we feel that if we're not checking a box up in task, we're probably not helping the animals. But you can take comfort in the fact that you are.
Yeah.
By being.
Yeah, exactly.
If that isn't too.
Yeah.
If that isn't too.
No, and I fully agree with you. And yesterday we had a march down Las Vegas Strip, and like I talk about this a lot, is the momentum and building momentum, and it's the fastest growing veganism is the fastest growing social justice movement of our time. Another question that I'd like to ask you is like, how can people get more involved and like build more momentum, or like, you know, the average person? There's a lot of people out there that are watching, and they'd like to know like how to get more involved and like, you know, join a save group, or did you initially just come and bear witness after you saw the footage and you start documenting it?
I mean, well, you got to educate yourself.
Yeah, you got to educate.
But you'd have to do that if you were going to go into school to study to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Make you learn stuff, or whatever you're going to do, an engineer. So you have to get educated.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't take a tennis class unless you're planning to play tennis, right? I mean, or golf. So you got to educate yourself a little bit. We are slightly entitled. We'd like stuff to come to us and ready-made to our door. You know, we're sort of sit back and so we're a slightly entitled generation. So putting in that extra work to learn something is like, right.
Yeah.
But you just educate yourself, and it'll just come to you. The information's there. Go online. And I always say there's no compulsion here. Whatever path look, you're here in your path, and you filming your path and my path are three totally different paths, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So I can't tell you have to do it like this, and you got to do it like that. Because whatever path you're on is the right path. Because it's leading you somewhere. So it's like King Arthur, those guys back then in the myths, they'd go to the forest and they didn't want to take a path. They wanted to go to the darkest part that no one had ever entered before. Because there's nobility, and their pride was like, no, I'm not going to take a path already tread. I'm going to find a new path. We're a little bit frightened of that today, somewhat. We want to feel safe and go where others have been. But there's no compulsion to it. Just listen to that inner guru, that inner teacher, if you will. It'll lead you there, and that's not such a hard ask, because if you've ever felt the touch of inspiration, then you know what it is to feel something that you can't quite explain that's pulling you somewhere. It's not so much that you're trying to achieve a goal or win something, but you're being drawn to the future. You're being drawn to, and that's the thing with energy and your consciousness, is that by the higher your consciousness is, let's see if this transcends. The higher your consciousness is, the greater your likelihood is of something positive happening in the world. If it's lower, the greater your likelihood is that something negative is happening. So I always tell activists, whatever you do, you gotta have a positive effect. Including the people that you might view as an enemy. And you think, and your ego, that narcissistic core, that ego
that's
that
very
just
important to understand.
loves to just be right and prove another wrong, rather than arrive at truth. That one, don't listen to that, and find that guy, no matter how weak he is, no matter how much blood is all over him, no matter how much he's saying, I love my clogged arteries and I love to kill. Just
compassion.
Find the spot for him. Then you're putting out more power in the world than you could ever imagine. Or yell at him and chant at him and scream at him. So I don't mean to sound like there's only one way, but I'm trying to move into a way that has power outside the immediate event and the immediate act. That's always generating power. And that's just by beingness.
That's true, and that's what the great genius Nikola Tesla said, that if you want to uncover the secrets of the universe, you pay attention to frequency, energy, and vibration. And he was like a huge inspiration for me, like to becoming an animal rights activist, because he recommended eating a plant-based diet, but he also said every effort should be made to stop the cruel slaughter of animals, which must be destructive to our morals. And then I saw Anita Crimes being arrested for feeding pigs water, and I went to her trial. So she was also a huge inspiration for me. But I was wondering, like, who are your biggest inspirations?
Let me say one more thing about what you just said about books. Like, if you look at Utopia, Thomas More's Utopia, which I believe is 1500, written in the 1500s, he talks about this society, this sort of idealistic, perfect society. And if they're going to eat animals, the animals must be slaughtered away from the utopians. And he says a very interesting thing, and I'm not quoting it exactly, but this is the gist of it. He says if they are exposed to the constant cruelty authors, whether it's Da Vinci
Yeah.
or Tesla
Yeah.
or even Thomas More, are alluding to a sort of a universal truth. And the reason I mentioned the Unity too is because Unity took a much more philosophical approach,
Okay. Yeah.
which is living by killing, which is how all life survives on this planet,
Yeah.
or living by loving, which is a whole different shift. Now, why do we live by killing? Well, because this protoplasm
Yeah.
doesn't have its own energy source.
Yeah.
So you have to go get it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to get up in the morning, you have to have breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like your car. You get the best Ferrari in the world, or
Yeah.
whatever car your dream car is.
Yeah.
There's no gas in
Yeah.
the tank.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. Why? Because we are not independently energetic. We have to draw our source from another. So it's very funny
Yeah.
that life lives on other life. That life can't live without killing.
Yeah.
So we live by killing, and you see it all through the animal kingdom. But then something very interesting happens, some sort of shift. And you say, I don't want to live by killing.
Yeah.
I see the world. I get this is how it's going. This is what happened to Buddha.
Yeah.
Buddha was like, I see it, I get it, I reject it.
Yeah.
I'm not a Buddhist. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I reject it. And he found a different path. And you know what you do? You break into a whole new universe.
Yeah.
Or you stay in this universe for however long you want to spend time here. Our capacity is limitless.
Yeah.
It really is. It's truly limitless. When you were born, when I was born, they told me my name was Shaun. I
Yeah.
don't know how many times they repeated that
Yeah.
for a year or two.
Yeah.
I guess for however many months until I finally, in my little tiny itty bitty brain, I said, I think they're referring to me when they say this word.
Yeah.
In other words, my identity is not my name. My identity is not my nationality. My
Yeah.
identity is not my college degree. My identity is not that I'm vegan. All these identities,
Yeah.
which are fine, but they divide us. So we get so attached to our identity.
Yeah.
And one of the problems we have with educating people is that we're attached to our vegan animal activist identity. They are not. And so we're separating.
Yeah.
We're not finding a way to help this guy who's living by killing, which you're no longer doing,
Yeah.
into living by loving, which is a whole other
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah, it's in a
That's
frequency,
why
exactly
I said that
what it
word,
is,
and
yep.
that's why
Yeah.
I went on that rant. So sorry for my long explanation. But
Yeah.
There you go.
And I mean, that's a big part of it. Like, I learned that love was the strongest energy that in the universe, actually, because my dog was really sick. He was in a coma, and I kept telling him that I loved him. I knew he could hear me, and actually my mom and my sister's boyfriend were both saying, "Now they're gonna have to put him down," and I didn't believe it. And I knew he could hear me, and he woke up. But then I guess he ended up waking up, and I know that it was probably not like a huge probability that would happen. But that's when I started to realize how powerful love is, and like when we're doing the march, we're doing the activism, or we're talking to the police or whatever, you're trying to like push that energy, and like I think that that's like of the utmost